right, Sagittarius. This is going to be your reading for October. However, I trust that when you find the message, there are, whenever it is, that there's a message here for you. So, keep in mind that the messages tend to change as we go. Sometimes the reading is meant to have two different ways that we can read it. So just be patient. How cute is that? Just split the deck at the Magician. I'm going to pull one from here, one from the Shadowland Tarot. And this is Beautiful Creatures Shadowland Tarot. And then we're going to do a spread with a different deck and then clarify with another deck. So then this way, if the same card wants to keep coming out, then it sure can, because we have multiple decks going on. All right. This is for Temperance. So this says moderation here. Temperance is about, like the alchemy card where we're tempering out the impurities. It can talk about patience. Look at that card. That's awesome. I don't really care for the Five of Pentacles, but the card is cool. So under the deck we have, this is the poverty card. So where you're feeling a sense of lack. So you could feel like, maybe you're losing money on something. Maybe you're feeling broke, but it can also talk about feeling alone in something, being ghosted by somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and let's put this here. I'm going to put this here. And we're going to pull one from the Shadowland. And then we're going to do a tarot spread. So these might go along with the reading. They might not. They might be their own little messages. Am I holding this right? Yeah. Just stopped there at the Lover's card when I did that. The World. Awesome. All right. So a cycle is completing. Leveling up. It's like this is like the graduation card where we are completing a cycle. We've learned what we needed to learn, and now we're going to level up there. Under the deck, we have the Nine of Swords. So that's, maybe having some sleepless nights or anxiety, worrying. All right, so hopefully it's talking about there is the healing with this Temperance card. We're doing some healing, and then this feeling of being alone or lack, that cycle is completing. But let's go ahead and pull some cards. Feeling like I want to split this. All right. Let's get the heart of the reading. Page of Wands. So that's my ADD card. And then the Death card's under the deck. So the heart of the reading, the energy is about just kind of embracing life with that joy and excitement and curiosity, and maybe being a little impulsive. But it's all about like having fun and, um, look, he's listening to the birds. It's like you're in the moment, you're living in the now. Somebody that is, like if it's in a swords card, they're going to be in their head and they're going to be thinking, and they're going to totally not, they're going to miss the birds singing because they're distracted by the thoughts in their head. Whereas this person gets distracted by everything that's going on around them. And sometimes that's good because you're living in the now. You're, oh my gosh, look at these beautiful flowers, and look at these, singing birds. And that's a beautiful thing. All right. Let's go ahead, get some more cards out. King of Swords keeps coming out. Are we still in Libra season? Yeah, during the time I'm reading this, we're still, King of Swords and Queen of Swords are coming out like crazy during these readings. 10 of Pentacles under the deck. So this is building that legacy, being in your logical mind. Let's get the past. So these are kind of polar opposites as far as being in your logical mind or being in that energy. So possibly the Death card was under the Page of Wands. Okay, here we have clarity, a truth coming out, or a new idea. And then Page of Cups under the deck. So in the past, there's been some light shed on something. So it's either maybe you need to stop being distracted by things because the Death card was under this. As far as you've got to focus now and stop getting distracted by things and be more in your logical mind so that you're not losing money and things of that nature. We've got many more cards to pull, but that's what I mean by the readings can change. This is how it looks as of right now. But we're going to go get some more cards. So let's get the current situation, because this is just the current energy. So the current energy, maybe you are in the King of Swords in your, maybe you're in your head too much and you're not, it could be the opposite. What in the world? There's Temperance again, and there's Star, and the Page of Swords. And then we have Five of Cups. So we have another 5. This is kind of crying over spilled milk. It's being a little more negative and, glasses half empty sort of card. It can be a lot bigger than that too. It can be grief, sorrow, loss, the one that got away. 3 cards are out. We've got Temperance again, the Star, and the Page of Swords. Look at this big ass sword she's holding, like this sword of truth. So I feel like maybe this healing that's going on and this clarity and the hope of the new, and what you've realized with the is that you're needing to be a little more logical instead of the normal fiery of Sagittarius. If you're more logical, then maybe you won't be so pessimistic either. I don't know. Let's keep going. So let's get the future. I feel like sometimes when we're fiery, we can be like super excited and happy and stuff, but then there's always that other side of the coin, All right, there we are. Knight of Wands. There's, we've got Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. This is definitely, the fire energy here. 2 of Wands under the deck. So being at a crossroads. It's wild. I haven't seen that before, but I haven't used this deck very often either. This one, this wand, his leg is tied to it, and his arm is tied to this one. So it's almost like he's tied to both choices. So which one is he going to take? But then he's over here distracted by the bird again. Let's see. So the future, there will be movement, or it could talk about messages coming in. But the nights are about that movement. So maybe, in the future, when you reach this crossroads here in the future, there's going to be movement. All right, let's get the advice and then we'll clarify. Emperor is under the deck. The advice is the 10 of Swords, 6 of Swords, and 3 of Swords. Holy crap. So luckily this is the end of that. The end of being kicked while you're down, the end of being stabbed in the back, the end of, this is rock bottom here. Healing from heartache, pain, sorrow, all of that, and then moving to calmer waters. So I would say, if this is the advice, it's basically saying, the time is to heal now. This is a healing card as well. Basically taking the time to heal, and that and then we have the Emperor. That's basically you taking control of the situation. Maybe move yourself out of that situation so that you can heal. Let's clarify. There was the Magician with this one as well. So it's interesting that I keep splitting the deck at the Magician. The Magician talks about having all the resources that you need to make this happen. Oh, there it is, the Magician. And then we had it with when I was splitting that deck. All right, what do I want to clarify? I think I'm going to clarify each column. Let me clarify the first column, and then we'll kind of see where to go from there. Judgment. All right. So there's the Ace of Swords, and then the Page is the person who grabs that Ace of Swords. It's basically like grabbing this idea. So it's very novice and new, the start of it. So whatever this idea or truth or clarity that came out, you currently grabbed it, and by doing so, grabbing this truth or clarity or idea or aha moment. This is bringing in a lot of healing, and it's almost like a second chance, a rebirth. It can even be like your calling. Maybe this is an idea of some sort that's going to bring you out of a feeling of lack. You know, we have the Emperor under the deck. The Emperor is like the boss. We have the World card. That's success and leveling up, like completing what we needed, learning what we needed to learn, and now we're graduating and moving up. We have the Temperance card twice. Let's clarify the middle column. Three of Cups. So this talks about celebration. Their glasses are in the air and they're celebrating. It can talk about being with your inner circle. And it can also talk about girls' night out, guys' night out. You know, celebrating with friends. Under the deck, we have the Hierophant. So this can be like learning something, having that mentor. So let's see. The Page and the Knight of Wands are both that fiery energy. So I feel like, and this is, we're clarifying the future. So I feel like this movement that's coming in, you know, with this, like, I'm going to be in the now and I'm going to go for it. That's going to bring you success to where you're going to be able to celebrate. Let's get let's clarify the third column. The Star. So we have the Star twice. Yes, we have the Star. So this is saying for the advice that we do have, that we'll be moving to calmer waters, even if you need to physically, if it's, the advice is saying move yourself out of the situation. I do want to point out that we're clarifying the third column where we have the King of Swords. This can very much be an Aquarius, and the Star is an Aquarius card as well. So some of you could be dealing with an Aquarian. But it doesn't have to be. Under the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. So this could be more so talking about the water energies, you know, the hope and faith that the Star is bringing, that everything's going to be okay. That you've already hit, there's nowhere to go but up. You know, you've hit rock bottom. You're going to heal from this. A lot of healing, and you're going to be moving out of that feeling of lack or pain or whatever it is that was bringing the feeling of being alone, the feeling of being out in the cold. Like, these two together are making me feel like lonely. Like your heart is hurting and you're there in the cold alone. However, there's the sun under this card, the fire energy. It's heating this heart back up, and it's going to heal, and your life will really start turning around, probably for your calling. In the future card, we do have movement, maybe messages coming in, and celebrating. All right, let's see. I'm going to pull one bonfire card. Man, that totally had my Michigan accent come out there. A bonfire card. All right. Sagittarius. we got 2. Wow, there's the Ten of Swords again. And the Star, you guys. What in the world? Right here. So, these are our cards that came out for the advice. We have the Ten of Swords and the Star. So this is saying again that the tens are the end of the cycle. Hence, like, we have the World here. This is the end of that, the pain and the suffering. There is so much hope and faith that everything is going to, you're going to be able to celebrate. You're going to have that fire again. Under the deck, we have the 3 of Coins. So this can talk about things really coming together, and you're going to start making money too. Like, so if you are having that lack in the money area, have that hope and faith. That's going to definitely turn around. I guess we'll do one of these. All right. Any last messages or advice for Sagittarius for this reading? Whoa. Extremes. Hot moon. Ooh, things might start to heat up. We've got this here too. Maybe there's a new flame coming in to where that's going to help heal your heart as well. You won't feel alone. All right. It's weird. I was like thinking when I was going to go for the deck that card was going to come out as well. But for some reason I was thinking that it was in this deck, so I was hesitant on if I was going to pull one from this deck or the one I just did. So now I don't know if I should pull one from this, because I chose that one, and I chose this deck, and that's the card that came out, but I thought that card was in this deck. All right, let's see. If you find that you are resonating with these readings and you'd like to take a deeper look into something, my email address is in the description box. I do readings full time, so I get back to you fairly quickly. Chaos. That chaos is the definition of basically the Tower card. So that's making me feel like, you've gone through this tower. This Ten of Swords, where your life's been a bit stormy. The other thing too is this card can mean like hot-tempered people, like extremes, where there's arguing and things like that. Like things are getting to the extreme of, like the look of the card looks like things are heating up, like that sort of thing. So this might be talking about It could be a warning to you to not be so hot-headed and extreme. You know, don't be like the Emperor can have that shadow side of being very domineering or using his um, how do I want to say it? Like using his power to for bad in a sense of um, being controlling or manipulative and things like that. So I would say my I keep going to this. Both of these temperance cards are showing pouring, which we usually have that in the temperance card, but these are more so like into a cup, like of, and then it says moderation. So for some of you, there just might be a message of careful if you're drinking too much or what you say or how you treat others. Um, so you're not saying something that you can't take back. Um, and it might be vice versa. You might be dealing with somebody like that, something to that effect. So, and that might be what you have gone through. Maybe you're all these knives or swords that are in the back. This 10 of Swords, you might have been dealing with tower moments and hot-headed people or person, and it's been really painful and heartbreaking, but to have faith and hope. And the negative aspect of the King of Swords can be like that as well, the Emperor, like a lot of the kings can, if they're using their power for in that sense of being mean, I guess you would say. Do I have that book? One second. Is this it? Oh crap, I don't know if this is it. Maybe it is. Yes, okay. So for this hot moon extremes, it says learn how to handle crises with calm and resilience. Seeking balance is superior to seeking extremes. Ooh, seeking balance is superior to seeking extremes. Balance is totally the Temperance card. There are better ways to handle conflict than rage and outrage. There may be someone who seeks to disrupt your business or life in some way. This too shall pass. And then there's kind of like an affirmation. I handle extremes with grace, yet I seek balance in all things. Oh, and the stone for this would be a sunstone, and I have that right here. So, I don't know if I should just read this whole thing. I'll just read this. The hot moon challenges us to build our resilience and reserves of wisdom and calm for those times where things are at their extreme. It reminds us that developing grace under pressure is worth its weight in gold, and that even these extremes in time will pass. So, for some of you, it does talk about here, similarly, we experience extremes in life, whether it's death, job loss, relationship breakdowns, true fears, big conflicts, booms and busts, and yet this is life. Our situation can quickly change for better or worse. So it's talking about the extremes of life. It can talk about not seeking the extremes to be in that rage, and try to find that balance. So I feel like your life has maybe been in some chaos, and that cycle is completing. You're moving to calmer waters. We've got the star card. You're going to be able to celebrate. You're going to be able to be in the now and hear the birds sing. And it's like a second chance, like a rebirth here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close it out and leave it with that. I hope this has found you and brought you some clarity. And I will catch you in my next one. Thank you.